always like 1,000 buttons that I have to press. Okay, when you're ready, you find your way down to your mat. We'll start in a seated position, whatever that is for you. And where is my water? I'm going to go cross-legged. You could sit with your legs out in front of you, sit in a long butterfly, wherever it's comfortable. Take it there. Anchor the hips down into the mat. Take your hands to the tops of your legs. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Reach the crown of your head up. We'll inhale through the nose to fill the body up with air, expanding through the rib cage from side to side and front to back. And then exhale out. Let all of that air go. For 3, inhale. And exhale. For 2, inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale, let everything go. With your last exhale, reach the arms so they go out to T, fingertips long towards the sides of the room. Shift over towards the right hand down, left arm reaches up and over. Try to drop the left shoulder away from your ear. Good. Exhale, come up through center. Inhale, we shift up and over to the left. Left hand down, right arm reaches up. We have the shoulders relaxing away from the ears. For 3 more, we side bend up and over to the right. And then come on up. We'll side bend up and over to the left. For 2 to the right. And then 2 to the left. And then 1 more. And 1 more to the left. Good. When you come all the way up through center, both hands can come down. We'll just take 4 roll-ups and then we'll get into the rest of the fun stuff. Open the feet up about hips distance apart. Flex your feet. Reach your arms out in front of you, fingertips long. Inhale as you sit up tall. Exhale as you draw in belly button to spine. Curve your spine as you roll all the way down to the mat. Shoulders and head come down. Arms reach back overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lift your arms, press the hands down towards the tops of your legs, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up, and then round forward through the upper back, reaching the fingertips just over the toes. Inhale, sit up tall, shoulders on top of hips. Exhale as you draw in from the belly button, curve your spine and roll back. Shoulders and head down, arms reach back. Inhale, exhale, lift, press the hands down, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up. And then round forward through the upper back, reaching the fingertips forward. Good. For 2, inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, draw in from the belly button. The curve is happening from rib cage down to the hips. We roll all the way down, shoulders and head down, arms reach back overhead. Inhale, exhale, lift, press the hands down, stay heavy through the back of the heel, come all the way up. And then keeping your belly button stacked on top of your hips, you round forward through the upper back, sliding the arms forward. 1 more. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, tuck and roll. Shoulders and head down, arms reach back overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Press the hands down, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up. And then round and dive forward. Good. Inhale, sit up tall. Hands can come down by your sides. Bend your knees to scoot your butt forward. If you have a ball, you take it with you. Lay all the way down onto your mat. Feet about hips distance apart. If you don't have a ball, your hips will just stay in the same position. If you do have a ball, you lift your hips up and slide the ball right about here. Okay. You settle your hips down onto the ball and figure out where your neutral position is going to be. It will probably feel like you're over tucking the tailbone a little bit. Kind of where I want you, hips and rib cage in line, arms down by your sides, upper body is actively pressing down into the mat. We'll lift the legs so they come to tabletop. Now from here, heels together, toes apart. So you make a V with your feet, the knees track just about in line with your shoulders. Inhale as you reach the legs away from you. Exhale as you pull the knees in, and they can pull past your hips. Inhale as you reach out. Exhale as you bend and pull in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, out. Exhale, pull it in. Good. We can always think about an inhale as we're reaching the arms or legs away from us, finding length through the body. Exhale as everything comes back in closer to center. This is 3. Inhale, press away. Exhale, come in. For 2, inhale out. And exhale in. One more, inhale out. And exhale in. You'll pause there with the knees bent, heels stay together, toes apart. Oh, wait, no, I lied. Knees stay bent, separate your feet, open the feet wide. That'll open your knees up a little bit wider as well. Similar kind of movement. We inhale to push the legs away from us, keeping the feet wide. Exhale as you bend the knees and pull back in. And knees can go past the hips just as much as is comfortable. Inhale out, exhale, pull in. Had that happen to me a couple times today where I've said something and meant not that, and I've like done not that. Happened to me today, like right and left, where I was like, okay, come off on the left, and I'm looking at everybody and they're all like, what do you mean? Like on the right, obviously. Damn. So obviously this is going to be a day for me. So we'll just see. For 2, inhale, push out. Exhale, pull in. One more, inhale out. Good, exhale in. Pause there, extend the legs so they go up above the hips. Bring the feet a little bit closer together. Your feet are parallel and flexed. And then like you're going for a little walk, you'll lower one leg down and then the other. Lower, 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 lower. You'll get to a spot that you really start to feel like you're going to round over the ball. That's where you start to walk back up. So it's a little walk up. I don't know why, but I always use the imagery of being a mime walking down like a box or walking down a wall. You walk, 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 and then you walk back up. And it doesn't need to be a really big movement, especially as you start to lower the legs down, because as the legs start to come further away from you, it creates more work for our core and the front of the body to stay stable. And it's the same exact thing without the hips on the ball. So you lower, 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 lift, 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 lift. As you lift up, you're drawing in from the lower abs and you're using the strength of your lower abs to help you lift your legs up, whether you have the hips up on the ball or not. Okay, one more time. We walk down that imaginary wall and then we bring it back up. Once your legs come back above your hips, point your toes, and now it's a big scissor switch of the legs. We can lower one leg down. It does not matter which one. Switch the legs in the air, pull that opposite leg in, lowering the other leg down. Switch and switch. Good. As per the usual, the movement doesn't have to be huge. It does have to be controlled though. So especially if you're up on the ball and you feel yourself wobbling a lot from side to side, you're probably doing a little bit too much. And honestly, it's okay to do too much just as long as you can recognize that in your own body and you can make little adjustments so that you feel more stable, more strong with what you're doing, and just more confident overall in how you're moving. Good. We can do one more each side. Switch and switch. And then we take the legs so they come back above the hips. Turn your toes out and your heels in. You can start with the heels connected. Now, similar to the walk that we did, you're going to cross one foot over the other and open and switch, open and switch, open and switch as you lower the legs down. And then we do that little crisscross as you lift back up. Good. We crisscross as you lower. And then crisscross as you lift. Good. Crisscross and lower. And crisscross and lift. 3 more times. We crisscross and lower. Ooh. Like I cannot with the ball right now. For 2, crisscross and lower. Crisscross and lift. And again, we're drawing in from the lower abs. Last one, we crisscross and lower. Good. Crisscross and lift. Good. You'll pause there at the top, bend the knees, feet come down onto the mat. If you have the ball underneath the hips, you slide it out from underneath you, lowering the hips down. And then just take a second from here. We drop both knees over towards the right, letting the left hip lift, keeping the left shoulder anchored down to the mat. Knees come up through center and you'll inhale, drop both knees over. Whoo, that was the biggest crack of my back ever. Both knees over towards the left, right hip lifts, right shoulder stays anchored down. Good. Exhale, everything can come up through center. Keep the knees bent and the feet flat. If you have the ball, just take it into your hands, reach the ball up above your chest. Inhale and then exhale as you roll yourself up to seated. You'll pause there at the top. If you have a slider, you grab onto your slider. Okay, you take your feet onto the slider, and then we bring the ball so it goes right about to mid back. You find a C curve and prop yourself up on the ball. If you do not have a ball, you're rolling back halfway, just holding right here. Okay. Now with the ball, we're going to see if my slider will cooperate like this. I know it probably won't. We pull the knees in nice and tight, pull that slider towards you. Keep the arms reaching out long. On your inhale, you can push the legs away from you. I'm going to need to roll up my mat. Exhale as you pull the heels back in, bending the knees. Inhale as you reach away. And then exhale as you come back in. Good. Inhale, reach away. If you have a slider and it's cooperating, aren't you lucky? I think it's because my mat is always on top of this piece of the ground that it just like makes my carpet weird. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, come back in. This doesn't want to work today. Inhale, reach out. Good. Exhale back in. Now, if you're propped up on the ball, you're actively trying to lift up and off of the ball, tucking chin to chest. You're looking straight forward towards the center of the thighs, pulling rib cage down towards the hips. It's one more like this. You inhale, slide out. Exhale, pull the knees in, pause right here. Inhale as you lift the left arm up, bicep by the ear. Exhale as you lower it back down. Inhale as we lift the right arm up, bicep by the ear. Lower it back down. 3 more on each side. Left arm lifts up. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Good. Right arm lifts up. And then you lower for 2. Left arm. And then right. 1 more. Left arm. Good. And then right arm. Good. Both arms come down. You pause right here. See if you can lift up and off of that ball just a little bit more. And if you're up in the C curve right here, maybe you can draw back just a little bit. For 4, you inhale, reach the legs away. Exhale, pull them back in. For 3, inhale, reach away. Exhale, pull back in. For 2, inhale. Exhale. 1 more, inhale. Good. Exhale back in, pause right there. If you're on the ball, you're lifting up off of the ball, finding a tall spine, taking your right arm, you're reaching it up and back so that your right hand comes behind you. Left arm reaches up and back as well. So we're in a tall spine, chest is pressing through the shoulders. You're up on the fingertips on your hands. Okay. Inhale as we reach the legs away from us. Same movement. Exhale as you pull the knees in. Good. And if you don't have a ball, obviously it's going to be the same thing. Just hands reaching back. We push the legs out and then we bend the knees, pull back in. Everything is staying still except for your hips down to your feet. So we pull things in. Inhale, reach out. For 4, in and out. Good. For 3, in and out. For 2. And then 1 more. Good. You can press your legs out and just take a second, hold right here. We'll come off of the hands, reach the arms so they come up overhead. And then we'll kind of dive up and over, reaching the fingertips forward, rounding through the upper back, pointing the crown of the head forward. When you're ready, you rebuild your spine so that you're sitting up nice and tall. Bend your knees and pull the knees in close to you. Now think about almost pulling the shoulders forward of the hips. We'll reach the arms out in front of us and then lift them up just like a little bit, not all the way up, like halfway up. You just hold them right here. Inhale as you push the legs away from you. Exhale as you pull back in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Good. Inhale out. Exhale in. Your back stays nice and flat. I know that feels a little bit unnatural, but it's what we're doing. 3. For 2. One more. Good. Pull the knees in, lower the arms down so they're in line with your shoulders. Move your ball off to the side if it's right behind you. Roll all the way down to your mat. So head, neck, and shoulders come down, arms down by your sides. Now, if you have two sliders, you go one slider underneath each foot. If you have no sliders, don't worry about it. Everything is going to function the same. Heels on the sliders, you can lift the toes up just so that you can really feel a connection into the heel and hopefully a connection into the back of your leg. Inhale here at the bottom. Exhale as you curl the tailbone under. Start to lift the hips coming up into a bridge. Inhale at the top, keeping the toes lifted, keeping the feet flexed. Exhale as you lower all the way back down. Good. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale as you tuck the tailbone, roll the hips coming up to bridge. Inhale. Exhale as you come all the way back down. Good. Inhale and then exhale. We come up. Good. Inhale and exhale all the way back down. Good. On this one, you lift your hips up and you hold there at the top. Okay, you pause. See if you can retuck the tailbone just a little bit. Hips and rib cage in line. If you feel your chest popping up towards your face, your bridge is too high. Arms stay pressing down into your mat. So we're active in the upper body. You're still holding the hips up. You're holding and breathing. That's all. That's all. When you're ready, you inhale, reach the right leg away from you. Exhale as you pull it back in. Can you keep the hips at the same level? Now reach the left leg away from you. And then exhale back in. Inhale out on the right side. Exhale back in. Inhale out on the left. Exhale back in. Two more each side. We go out and in. You go out and in. Last one. Hips stay lifted, out and in. And then last one on the left, you take it out and then bring it in. Good. Pause here. Lower your hips all the way down to the mat. Take a second. Breathe. When you're ready, you just lift your hips right back up. That's all it is. We find the top of the bridge. You pause there. Retuck the tailbone. Keep the upper body pressing down into your mat. Inhale. On your exhale, you lower down about halfway. Inhale, big exhale, press back up. Good. Lower down halfway. And then press back up. Lower down halfway. Press back up. Good. Lower. And lift. For 3, you lower. And lift. For 2, lower. One more, lower. Good. Lift and hold it right there. Slide the right leg away from you, keeping that left heel digging down into your mat. Get lighter through the right leg. Point your toe. Lift the right leg so it comes up above your hip. Now flex your foot. Lower the right leg down just so that your knees are in line with each other. Point your toe. Lift your leg back up. Flex your foot. Lower the leg down, knees in line. Point the toe and lift. Flex your foot and lower for one more. Point and lift. Flex and lower. And you can lower the right leg all the way down to your slider. Your heel finds the slider. You pull that right leg back in. We keep the hips lifted. Same thing on the other side. Okay. Right heel stays pressing down. We slide the left leg away from us. Get light through that left side. Lift the left leg up. Flex your foot as you lower. The knees are in line with each other. Point the toe and lift back up. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Stay relaxed in the upper body. Big deep breaths for 2. Flex and lower. Ooh, hamstring cramp. Here it comes. Flex and lower. Last one. Good. Point and lift. Good. And then we lower all the way back down. You find your slider with your heel. Pull the left leg in. Roll the hips all the way down. Okay, once your tailbone comes down, you can lift your feet off of the sliders, hug your knees into your chest, take a little rock from side to side. Good. Take a breath. Okay, perfect. From here, you can keep your hands holding onto your hamstring, pull the knees in nice and tight, tuck chin to chest so you lift up through head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale right there. Take a big exhale, roll yourself up to seated. Okay, perfect. From there, if you have your weights somewhere nearby, grab onto them. If you don't, I promise you'll have just as much fun with no weights. We're just doing a quick little arm series. So pop up into a high kneeling position. If you're really just dying to use your ball, you take the ball between the inner thighs just like this. You have more awareness of what's happening in your body. Weights in both hands, tailbone tucked, shoulders on top of hips. We're taking the palms so they kind of face up towards your face. Elbows are slightly bent like this. You'll look like this. It feels like a really strange position, so just stick with me. On your inhale, we lift the left arm up. You slightly press the right arm back. Exhale as you switch the arms through center, lifting up through the right arm, slightly pressing the left arm back. Everything comes in. I'm going to show you from this side because that will give you the best indication of what's happening. We lift, and then it's just that little press back of the opposite arm, like a little tiny one. Press back and switch. Press back and switch. Good. And just like every exercise that we do ever, it's a full body exercise, not just an upper body or arm exercise. And I know that can sometimes be a tough thing to wrap our head around, and that's okay. It's totally okay. It should be kind of difficult to grasp that one. But the more that you think about things like starting from your center every time instead of starting from like the weight in your hand, the more connections you'll be able to make between your mind and muscle. Right? So if we think about this movement starting from our center, how does that change how the movement feels for you? Good. If you think about the arm pressing back, moving from the back of the shoulder, does that change anything for you? Good. Can you put a little bit more pressure onto the ball between the inner thighs? You know, just questions, just things to think about. Good. Both arms will come down. So if you need to even things out, even things out. The hands will stay in line with each other. Now we inhale to lift both of the arms up to overhead. Whatever that looks like for you, it can be a little bit forward of the shoulders. Exhale as you lower right back down. Inhale as you lift up overhead. Exhale as you lower right back down. Good. Shoulders stay stacked right on top of the hips. So I'll show you what can happen as you lift overhead. Sometimes we kind of propel forward a little bit and push the hips forward and pop the chest. Everything should stay pretty still. So it's almost like your arms are detaching from your body. You're just moving your arms and nothing else. For 3, lift. Good. And lower. For 2, lift. And lower. Good. One more, lift. And lower. Good. Pause here. Flip your palms forward, soft bend into the elbows. You inhale as you reach the arms up and out, circle out towards the sides of your room, and then pull the arms back in. Inhale up and out. Exhale, you circle out and around, pull the arms closer to you. Inhale, reach. For 3 more in this direction, reach up and out. For 2. One more. Right into the reverse direction, reaching the arms out and around, pulling them forward and then lowering down. Reaching out, up and around, and take it down. Good. Out and around. And bring it down. Out and around. Good. Everything comes down. We'll do 3 more. Reach. For 2. One more. Good. Arms come down, take your weights and put them off to the side. You can take your ball, toss it off to the side as well. Set yourself up so that you're laying all the way down onto your mat or face down. If you have sliders, the sliders are coming underneath your hands. Your legs are reaching out about hips distance apart. And if you're one of the lucky ones that can bring their legs together without it irritating your low back, you're going heels together, toes apart. I can't do that yet, so I have my feet about hips distance. Hands on the sliders, reach your arms so they go all the way out in front of you. Try to relax your shoulders, tuck chin to chest, point the crown of your head forward. Exhale as you bend your elbows, pull the sliders closer to you as my water bottle falls over. Exhale, pull the elbows in closer to you, keeping the crown of your head reaching forward, keeping your gaze down. Inhale as you reach the arms right back out overhead. Exhale as you bend. Inhale as you reach. Good. Exhale, bend. And your head is pretty dang close to the ground. Okay, so if I see your head bobbing up, no, drop it. If you're trying to make eye contact with me, don't. Good. And take your exhale, really pull the elbows in towards your sides. Think about this movement not only happening through the shoulders and the arms, really think about it happening underneath the armpits in your lats. Good. Next time you reach your arms out, you get to pause right there. Try to drop the shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your head. Maybe pull the sliders in a little bit closer to you. Good. And then slide them all the way back out, lowering your chest, lowering your head. You lift the chest, lift the head, actively pulling the shoulders down and back. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Good. Exhale, we lift the chest, lift the head, draw the shoulder blades down the back of your body, and then reach it right back out. We do 3 more lifts. And lower. As you continue to move like that, what's going on in your lower body? Can you feel the front of your feet and the tops of your legs pressing down into the mat? This should be our last one. Lift the chest, lift the head, pull the sliders in a little bit closer to you, and then lower everything back down. Good. Take a moment. Okay, we keep the hands on the sliders. You lift the chest, lift the head, just like halfway. Okay. Sliders are pulling in a little bit closer to you. Shoulders are relaxing down and back. We're looking down, slightly forward, press into the front of the hips, lift the legs, start to kick through your legs. Little kicks. You have a strong pointed toe, and that kick is happening from your hip all the way down your leg to your toes. Good. Now, just because I want you to flex your feet and now take that same kick, see if that feels different. It will probably feel very unnatural because I only ever have you do this with pointed toes, but flex your feet. See if that feels different. Do you feel more connected to the back of your leg with the flex foot? Do you have to lift your legs higher? Do you need to support yourself in a different way? We're here 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs. Drop the chest, drop the head, move your hands underneath your shoulders, bring the legs all the way together, press up and all the way back into a child's pose, rounding through your spine. And think about that round happening from the upper back to the crown of the head. Yes, you round, and I'll look at you and talk, but you round your spine. Good. Okay, when you're ready, hands come forward. You come up to a tabletop position, tuck your toes under. I can't decide where I want to be. Okay, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, toes tucked under. You're pressing up and away from your mat, creating space between the shoulder blades. Inhale here, exhale as you hover the knees off of your mat. Pause, inhale, another big exhale. Send the hips up and back, drive the heels down towards your mat. Now start to walk your hands in towards your feet, anchoring the heels down, soft bend into the knees. You start to rebuild the spine and come all the way up to stand. Lovely. Once you come all the way up to stand, you can make your way more towards the center of your room. Grab onto one of your sliders. And then if you wanted to use the ball, we could. If you want to, you can grab onto it. I'm just going to take it right between my hands, pushing my elbows out wide. We'll start with the slider underneath the right foot. Left foot stays exactly where it is. All 10 toes point forward. The ball's right in front of your chest if you choose to use it. We kick the right leg out to our side just a little bit. You'll inhale as you start to go down and back into your left leg, sliding the right leg away from you. Exhale as you press into your left heel. You bring yourself all the way back up to stand, and we'll move that slow for every rep. Inhale as you lower down, sending the hips down and back, gentle pressure into the ball. Exhale as you press into the heel. You come all the way back up to stand. Good. If you don't have a slider, it's the same thing. You just reach the leg away from you. It may be a smaller movement, and that's okay. You come right back up. Good. We inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. For 4 more, lower. And lift. For 3, lower. And lift. Good. For 2. One more. Good. You pause at the top. Now keep your left leg, your standing leg. The right leg pushes back just a little bit. You're up on the toes. You can keep the ball pressing in front of your chest. Now we inhale, lower down into the left knee, pushing the right leg back behind us, finding a diagonal line from your heel up the back of your leg, up your spine, out the crown of your head. Exhale, it's a slow press into that left leg. You come back up to stand. If you're dying to do something with your arms, as you lower down, you reach the ball out in front of you. As you lift up, you pull the ball back into your chest. Good. Inhale as you lower. It's a slow lower down. Good. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. Morgan, instead of looking straight down, look down and a little bit forward so your head's on the same line as, yeah, right there. Good. And that's a good one for everybody. Your head should be on the same line as the rest of your spine. So if we're looking for a diagonal line, your head's on that same diagonal. We all want to look down, but if you look down, guess what? You're going to pull down. I mean, you won't fall, but if you look down, you're going down. Okay. So we're trying to look in the direction that we're going. I was counting in my head. So let's call this like last one. I just got sidetracked. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Pause at the top. Now you keep your left leg, your standing leg, you take that right leg, you bring it a little bit in front of you. And I'm going to show you, I think from this side, this will probably be the best. Tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Right leg's right about here. The ball can stay pressing in front of your chest. Inhale, you're sliding the right leg forward as you're bending into your left knee. Exhale, you're pressing into the left heel. You come back up to stand. Think of this like a pistol squat, because that's kind of what it is. Inhale, you lower, and then exhale, you lift. So you can either have your toes on the slider, or maybe you try your heel and see if that feels any different for you. We go down and back, and then you come back up. For some reason, these sliders are just like giving me just the hardest time today, and that's not very fun for me. Good. Inhale, you lower, hips go down and back. And then back up. Good. And it's a bend at the knee and a hinge at the hip. It's not a fold over from the hip. For 3, we go down and then back up. And what I mean when it's not a fold over, I mean, you're not like hunching over and getting down into it like this. If you had words on your chest, on your shirt, I would be able to read them as you're going down. So you still have a tall, proud chest. You're just hinging a little bit at the hip. I know I said a number. So let's say last one here. Good. Come all the way up, and then we take it right over into the other side. Right foot's anchored down. Left foot has the slider. It's kicking out to your side. The ball's in front of your chest, elbows reaching out. Inhale, you lower straight down into the right leg. Exhale, you press into the heel, you come all the way back up to stand. Good. It's an inhale, you lower down. Exhale, you lift back up. Good. Now you all know this. It does not matter how big the movement is. I don't care if you can get your ass all the way down to the ground. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if you can do it, but you can't do it with control, like what's the point? What's the point? Good. We lower down, hip, knee, and ankle in line. Exhale, we press into that right heel. You come back up to stand for 3 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. For 2, lower. And lift. Good. 1 more, lower. And lift. Good. We're all the way up. Right foot stays forward. Left leg starts reaching back. Okay. We have a slight pitch forward to start. We're creating a diagonal line from the heel all the way up the crown of the head. Inhale, you lower down, sliding the left leg away from you. Maybe you reach the ball out in front of you right away. Exhale, you press into that right heel, come back up to stand. Inhale, you lower down. Exhale, right back up. Good. Inhale, lower. And then exhale, lift. Good. And again, because it's not a huge movement, you don't have to reach your legs super far back. It can stay really tiny, and you can still move slowly and have it be a small movement. That is honestly something that I think is more challenging than making it a huge movement. Like, can you keep it small and still move with a lot of control and maintain a slow pace, like you're moving through mud? For 3, inhale, you lower, push the left leg back. Exhale, come back up. Good. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back up. Last one. Inhale, lower. You're pushing the leg back. Exhale, lift, press into the heel. You come all the way back up to stand. You pause at the top, take the left leg so it's in front of you like this. Right heel is still anchored into the mat. You can press into the ball right in front of your chest or toss the ball. Doesn't matter to me. Inhale as you push the sliding leg forward, bending into the right knee. Exhale as you press into the right heel. You take it back up to stand. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Remember, we're thinking pistol squat, and a pistol squat is difficult. So if this feels difficult, that's because it is. That is absolutely because it is. But you can imagine you're just sitting back into a chair. And then right back up. Good. Yes, push your butt back, bend into the knee. Good. Okay, let's do 3 more. That can be more. That's enough of that for 3. Good. For 2, lower, send the hips back and come back up. This will be our last one. We push the left leg forward, send the hips down and back, and then come right back up. Take your slider, toss it off to the side, make your way towards whatever edge of the mat you want to be on. Feet about hips distance apart. We inhale, circle the arms up and around. Exhale as you dive up and over an invisible fence, pointing the crown of the head down towards the ground, slight tuck of your chin to your chest. Hands come down. We'll pedal out the feet from here, lifting up through the left heel, bending the left knee, and then switching. Switch. And switch. Really try and articulate through the foot and the ankle. We'll stay here 3, 2, and 1. You can lift up through both heels, start to walk your hands out. Find yourself in a plank, shoulders over wrists. Tuck the tailbone, and then drop down to your knees, untuck the toes, hips back to your heels. You find a child's pose. Good. Take a second right there. Inhale. And then exhale out. Let it go. Perfect. And then when you're ready, we're going to set up into a mermaid position. We can take the right leg so it comes out by our side. We'll start with the left leg in front of us. Grab onto one of your sliders and take it underneath your left hand, right about here. We're up on the fingertips on the slider, so you don't have to really push a lot of your body weight down into it. Reach your right arm out by your side. Right arm out by your side. Inhale as you slide your slider away from you with your left arm. Reach up and over through the right. Exhale as you come all the way back up through center. As you come back up, you're going to feel a whole lot of things happening through the outside of that right hip and also through the right side obliques. That's what's bringing you back up. So the mermaid stretch with the slider is, I don't know, it's not as nice as the mermaid stretch without the slider. It's a little bit less stretchy, a little bit. Good. Now we're going to try something here. The next time that you slide out through that left side and reach up and over through the right, can you extend out through the right leg? Can you exhale, use your oblique in the right hip, bend the knee, pull all the way back in, tall spine. Inhale, everything goes out. Good. Exhale, everything comes in. And you can do that same thing without a slider. Just, it'll be kind of like this. You'll come down to the forearm and then press back up. Still really focus on using your right side, the hip and the oblique, everything up and out. And then we come back in. We do one more like that, up and out. And then back in. Once you come back in, we take the right arm, rotate it forward so that it's on the slider, and then kind of angle the slider so it's more in line with your left knee. Inhale as you push the slider away from you. Exhale, you're starting this movement from the center of your body. You pull that slider back in. Inhale, you reach out. Exhale, back in. For 2, inhale, reach. Exhale, in. One more, inhale, reach out. Good, exhale, back in. Good, we can take the right hand off, open all the way up, and then lower the right hand down. Take your slider with you. We'll swap out the legs to the other side, right leg in front, left leg out by your side. Ooh. Ouch on the hip. Okay, we have the right hand on the slider, left arm reaching out by your side, and we just start off with the side body stretch. Reach. Oh my gosh, not me burping. We reach the right arm away from us, lift the left arm up and over. Exhale, come up through center. Inhale as you reach up and out. Exhale, up through center. Good. Same things we talked about on the first side. We're trying to use the left side body to bring us up and not momentum or really anything else. Inhale, up and over. Exhale. Good. So can you use the strength of your side body instead of the drag from the slider to pull you back in? The answer is absolutely yes, you can. I know you can. Most of the questions are rhetorical. You guys know that. Good. This time we add on, because we can, we slide the right leg away from us. As you do that, the left arm reaches up and out, left leg kicks out like so, and then exhale, everything comes back in. I just have to move over so I have some room. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, everything back in. Good. Inhale out. And then exhale back in. Good. And the weight of the left leg, I'm going to say it helps us a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. It acts as almost a counterbalance. As we start to pull things in, we can use the weight of the left leg to bring us back down. Okay, let's do one more. Inhale, up and out. Exhale, everything in. You'll pause there at the top, rotate through the side. Left hand finds the slider with the right hand, and then bring that slider a little bit forward so it's in line with the right knee. We're kind of twisting into this. Shoulders are level. You'll inhale as you push the slider away from you. Exhale, you're using the center of the body to pull back in. So it's an inhale, we reach out. Exhale, draw in from the belly button. Big exhale, you bring it back in. Inhale out. I feel like we did 4 on the first side, so we'll call this 2. Inhale out. Exhale in. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Pause right there at the top. You can, left hand off, rotate out, lower the left hand down. I forget the choreography. Take your slider, toss it off to the side, and then bring yourself all the way down onto your mat. So you can roll up out of that mermaid position, lay all the way down, reaching your legs so they go out in front of you. You can flex your feet just so we can get heavy through the back of the heel and the back of the leg. Lift your right leg so it comes up above your hip, point your toe, and then reach your arms out either to a T or into a low V, whatever you like best. I like a low V. Inhale to cross your right leg over towards the left. You circle down, and then exhale as you come up and around on the right side. For 3, you cross over, circle down, exhale up and around. The left leg is staying as stable as it can be as we articulate the hip on the right side. 1 more. We cross over, circle down, exhale up and around, and then reverse that circle, opening out to the right, crossing over to the left, exhale up and around for 3. For 2. 1 more. Good. You can lower the right leg all the way down, flex the foot. Now lift the left leg up, point the toe. Inhale as you cross the left leg over towards the right, circle down and around, and then exhale up on that left side. For 3, we cross over, circle down and around as I whack my reformer. That was not so nice. For 2. 1 more, cross over, circle down and around, and then reverse the direction, opening out to the left, crossing over, up and around. For 3, open, cross, and up. For 2. And then 1 more. Good. Left leg lowers all the way down. You're flexing through both feet. You're heavy at the back of the heels, pulling the toes to your shins, reaching your arms above your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, press the hands down, tuck chin to chest, roll all the way up. Find your tall spine, and then keeping the belly button pulling back, round forward through the upper back, tuck the chin to the chest, point the crown of your head forward, reach, 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 reach. Inhale, and then exhale, you rebuild your spine, shoulders on top of hips, crown of the head lifts up, arms come down, and we're all finished. Woo! Oh, so circles on the hips that are a little